Good morning, children, and welcome back to the EVS2 class. So, children, I hope you are all well. So, shall we start our class? Children, we have already started the new lesson, which is reverse, okay? And we have discussed the objectives, and we also discussed the conversation that took place between the three persons in the previous page. Now, let's come to the second page, okay? And what is the second page? Now, before I begin with the chapter and I proceed with the chapter, all of you please take out your EVS2 textbook. Yes, so that when I'll be explaining, you put your headphones on, or even if whatever you have, you put your mobile or laptop, you put it in front of you, then you hear my video and look at the lesson, okay? Then it will be more proper for your understanding, okay, children, like we do in school, okay? When I'll be explaining, you have your textbook with you, so every time, not only in my subject, in any subject, you have your textbook with you every time the teacher explains, and you also go through the lines which the teacher is explaining. So children, I hope till now you are ready with your EVS2 textbook. So let's proceed with the second page. And in the second page, children, you can see it starts with reverse. Okay, now we all know that we will be discussing elaborately in this lesson about which water body? Yes, rivers. Okay, so let's start. Here it's given, rivers provide water which is necessary for all kinds of life forms. Various kinds of organisms live in rivers. Many kinds of plants and trees grow only near rivers. Okay, we all know rivers provide water which is necessary for all kinds of what, children? It is necessary for all kinds of, yes, life forms. Okay, whether it is animals, plants, birds, etc. And various kinds of organisms also live in rivers. Now, what are organisms? Children, organisms are very small living beings, okay, which cannot be seen with the naked eye. We cannot see with the naked eye, okay. We'll have to take the help of an instrument which is called microscope, okay. And with the help of this instrument only, we'll be able to see this little living beings. In my next video, okay, in the next class, I'll show you these organisms along with the instrument which is used to see these organisms, okay. Then many kinds of plants and trees grow only near rivers. Also, many animals and insects get food and water from rivers. So children, there are many kinds of plants also and trees which grow only near rivers, and also many animals and insects also get food and water from rivers. We all know water is necessary for all living beings. They are important for the growth of civilizations, and many important ancient cities started near the rivers. So children, what is civilization? As it's given here, there are important for the growth of civilization. Many important ancient cities started near rivers, okay. Now, what is civilization? Civilization means, children, that a group of people, okay, who has their own culture, who has their own way of living, and who has their own clothing habit, okay, a group of people, and that is called civilization. And for the growth of the people also, water is very necessary, that is, rivers are very necessary. And you know, children, many important ancient cities started near rivers. Okay, children, many important ancient means old cities, okay, before, early cities, not now. I'm not telling about cities which are present now, but cities which are present earlier, okay. And many cities have started near rivers, and you will notice one thing, that many cities which started near rivers, they have developed also, okay, they have become very developed. How? We'll see. Okay, now I would like to show you a picture of an ancient city, okay, which is on the banks of the river Nile. You know where is river Nile? Yes, children, river Nile is in Egypt. And you can see here, it's a picture of an ancient city, okay, and you can see it's a well developed city, and this city is built on the river Nile. And it's not only river Nile has ancient cities, but all the cities around the world have many important cities, and also all the very important civilization, okay, like people who are very advanced in everything, who has a good way of clothing and advanced way of farming and everything, okay, they have always grown on the banks of river. Okay, just I want to cite you an example like Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, now Indus River is in Pakistan, and you all know the Harappan and the Indus Civilization, which has grown on the banks of the river Indus, is the most advanced and the most flourished civilization, which is very important now also in history. Okay, children, and this civilization, okay, this city, okay, Mohenjo-daro city, Harappa city, which has grown on the banks of river Indus. Just to remember that on the banks of river Indus, which is in Pakistan now, okay, this Indus river, it flows in Pakistan, is very important for the growth of one of the most important civilization of the world. Okay, and two very important cities, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, okay, they flourished on the banks of this river. So similarly, children, you can see here that this picture, it shows, okay, when on the banks of a river a city is developed, a city is built. If a group of people come and they sit on the banks of the river, what happens? They flourish, okay, because they get water for farming, agriculture, also they get water for their various purposes, okay. So that's why those cities which are built on the river, on rivers, okay, then those cities become highly developed. Okay, those civilizations have become very highly developed. So rivers are very important for the growth of civilizations also. So let's get back to the chapter. Okay, children, now let's see what's given there. A river begins on high ground or in hills or mountains and flows down from the higher ground to the lower ground. It begins as a small stream and gets bigger as it flows onward. The journey of a river is divided into high, middle and low areas. A very important thing I want to tell you, children, what is a river always begins on high ground, okay? A river, it always begin on high ground, okay? A river will flow from high to low, okay, and to the lower ground. It begins first, it's very small, okay, the river is very small, and then it gets bigger as it flows onward, okay. Now children, you know the river Brahmaputra, it starts from Tibet, okay, and in Tibet it's a very small rivulet, it's a very small stream. Then it flows through China, then it enters Arunachal Pradesh, okay, and then finally it comes to Assam. And why Brahmaputra comes to Assam? What happens? It becomes a very fat river, okay, and it becomes a very mighty river. But in Tibet it is not so. It's not a very big river, it's a very small stream, and it starts from Tibet, okay. And Tibet, you know, it's higher ground, it's on a high ground than India, okay. So you can see Brahmaputra also started from Tibet, and Tibet, you know, is the roof of the world. It's the plateau, okay, it's a plateau, and it's known as the roof of the world because it's the highest plateau in the world. And you can see from the higher ground it has moved to the lower ground, that is India, okay, and it enters India through Arunachal Pradesh, and it then goes to Bangladesh and falls into ultimately in the Bay of Bengal. So as a river flows, it becomes bigger and bigger. The journey of a river is divided into middle and low areas. This is very interesting, children. The journey of a river is divided into high, middle and low areas. This journey of a river we'll be doing in the next class. Okay, children, this is very important, and I will give you a detailed explanation of all of this. Okay, the journey of a river is divided into high and middle areas. One more thing I would like to tell you. You look at the yellow box. A river is a large natural stream of flowing water. Usually rivers flow towards a large water body like a sea or ocean. Sometimes rivers also flow into caves under the ground. A river is also, children, a natural stream. We all know of flowing water. Usually rivers flow towards a large water body. You all know, I want to tell you that all rivers, what happens, they flow to a large water body. Either they flow to an ocean or a sea. Okay, like we know the river Brahmaputra, where does it flows? It flows to the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and so a river always flows to the sea or to the Bay of Bengal. Ganga also, okay, Ganga also, what happens, it flows to the Bay of Bengal. Okay, and Brahmaputra also flows into the Bay of Bengal. Then many southern rivers are there which flows either into the Arabian Sea or in the Indian Ocean. So rivers always, they flow from the mountains, but they always falls into the where either sea or ocean. And one more thing, sometimes rivers also, they flow inside caves or under the ground. If there are some cracks on the ground, they flow under the ground, or if there are some caves, they go inside the caves. Okay, children? So children, will stop here. In the next class, children, I will explain you the journey of a river. Okay, children? And you please go through the journey of a river and you read it. Okay, right after this topic, we have the journey of a river. You read it. I'll explain it in the next class. So children, I hope you all have registered in the Google Classroom. I'll be giving some homework. So children, you do it and you submit in the Google Classroom. Okay, children? So children, thank you and have a nice day.